This film is an introduction to the Cornwall Voluntary Sector Forum. Since 1994, the Forum has been the voice of Cornwall's voluntary sector, acting on behalf of charities, voluntary organisations and community groups. We hope that by the end of this film, you will know more about us and the valuable contribution our sector makes.
So here we are, it's April 2010. We're going to have our AGM next month, hopefully, if everything goes right. It feels like a long time since we started the Forum as a charity back in February 2005.
Yes, and of course even before that, the Forum as an organisation, as an unincorporated, fairly loose organisation, had existed for quite a long time. The members decided that they wanted it to develop a bit more. The problem was, obviously, there was no money.
Yeah, yeah. Always the big, the killer factor in the voluntary sector, isn't it? Where's the money coming from?
And of course you had, we've got something like nearly 4,000 organisations in Cornwall of all shapes and sizes. Yeah. Most of them with hardly any, some of them with no money at all. Most of them was like between 5,000 and 10,000 a year to run on, which is hardly, helpful to the sector that's actually trying to deliver services to people.
Mm. I remember it was sort of 2004, 2005, and we were looking at doing a sort of tendering process to get European Social Fund monies, and there was a lot of fear around at that time, if you remember, that organisations from outside of Cornwall would come in and hoover up this money, and the little Cornish groups wouldn't get a look in. And I remember you brokering a lot of meetings between the various different charities involved to see if we could set up some partnerships.
The problem was there were two things there. One was the fear of money going out of the county, and I actually ran a campaign called Keep It in Cornwall, and that was where the Voluntary Sector Forum came in, because we were the only body that was able to have that role of bringing people together.
Yeah. Because we weren't delivering anything ourselves, we were just supporting.
That's right. We were not in competition with any of the members, because we'd made it a rule that we would not be delivering things. We would just be I came up with something called the ABCD.
Yes, I remember that.
The ABCD slogan, which was advocacy, brokerage, communication and development. Yeah. These were the four things that we did as a VSF.
We work mainly in the east of the county, and we're here to help support, promote and develop voluntary sector organisations and community groups. We're a partner with the Penwith Community Development Trust, and we run an interlink project in the east of the county. We're also working partnership under the Capacity Building Works programme, which is funded by Convergence, and we provide training to voluntary sector employees, and that's about building their capacity and their skills. We also have a network development officer who is doing great things with the Moorland network here in the east of the county, and we're looking at developing more networks. We also have the Signpost newsletter, which is a big favourite with the voluntary sector. Lots of information and news on that, and one of the areas that we want to develop is a communication and information officer for the voluntary sector. I think what we would do about improving the local community is, again, just making sure that there is the right level of support and development for these groups to be able to move up a level. And so I think, the added value that we bring by helping to recruit volunteers, by providing training on capacity building, all adds to the mix.
Big Lottery announced they were going to have a basis programme to support organisations that supported the rest of the sector. And again, everybody started putting in bids and competing against each other. And again, you got us all in a room and you sat us all down and you said, okay, but what is it we want to achieve here? And you made us share each other's plans. Do you remember? And we, we all talked about what we wanted for the forum. Obviously, that meant that the Forum's plan was the best consulted plan, and we got the money. And and we've got money through to 2013, and there's not many organisations that can say that. I mean, but we couldn't rest on our laurels, because no sooner we got that sorted, then we're straight into the run up to the Unitary Council, and wanting to be consulted by the districts, wanting to be consulted by county, trying to sit on a fence, which was very painful to sit on, talking to Calc, I think it was, Sarah Mason, the town and parish council movement, because they were in a similar situation to us, and basically trying to make sure that whatever happened, the sector would have some sort of security of its funding. And you and I argued a long time behind closed doors that what we needed at absolute minimum was at least 1 year where all the funding commitments in the future would be honoured.
The RCC is a charity and a limited company. We've been working in Cornwall for the last 64 years, and our mission is to provide Cornwall's communities, to support them to be vibrant, sustainable and inclusive. And we have a total of 47 part-time and full-time staff, providing a range of services, some of which you'll see in other parts, from supporting young carers and community buildings. We also support community development. We also have a mental health project enabling the service users to feedback and comment on policy, and we also provide an adult carers service as well as some inclusion work. From specific economic intervention of helping people access grants, or helping people, and our carers project has helped them access, we think in the first 7 months of this year, nearly £500,000 worth of additional funding they may not have applied from statutory rights. So there's an economic imperative there, as well as grants for projects, all the way through to the sort of social support and the social fabric of the community by enabling community buildings to keep the groups together, sorting out their governance and helping with those sort of issues as well. We've just taken on a dementia piece of work, trying to link together the memory support cafes, a 2-year project to make sure we get good practice and joined up to make it sustainable outcomes there. We're also doing a piece for our sister organisations in the Southwest Area Network, SWAN, on fuel poverty, particularly in the rural, and trying to advise and help and get people out of that trap, supported as part of a CALA contract. And additionally, we're accessing some RDPE funding, and we've got a contract to facilitate the access to just between £2 and £3 million worth, mainly for social enterprises in the rural community shops and things for the rest of Cornwall.